Right, so we're just starting this video again because between Fon and I, we're about as high tech as a boomerang. Just started recording on Fon's phone and didn't work. But topic for today is sort of touching on the cultural differences that that we wanted to discuss before, or that we mentioned that we wanted to discuss as part of this channel's content. And the topic Fon's come up with a few topics, and the one that we wanted to pick up on tonight is called... Comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. The one that we wanted to pick up on tonight is called Mysteries Before Marriage. And I guess you could call this... the best way to describe this is a little sort of conversation or a talk about Thai superstition, and what you do and what you don't do before you get married, and how Thai people take it quite seriously, and Westerners completely disregard it, like I did. And in our case, in our particular case,
for example, Thai culture, we believe when a man and woman are getting married, they will smell so nice, smell so good, the spirit will take their soul.
The spirit will take their soul.
Yes.
Yeah, and I kind of disregarded it, and it sort of bit me in the arse.
Like before you get married, you have to stay home for 3 days to be safe.
Was it 3 days?
Yes.
You have to stay home for 3 days before you get married? I didn't realise it was 3 days. No wonder why I ignored it.
Actually, before getting married, you should be careful, but absolutely before 3 days before get married, you have to be so careful.
And stay at home, what? Because your spirit smells nice. You smell nice.
You smell nice.
Because you're in love and you're getting married, yeah?
Yes, the groom and the bride smell so nice. This is what we believe.
Yeah, and I completely ignored that and went on an 8-hour motorbike trip.
Actually, you not believe, but...
Yeah, I was very dismissive towards it, sort of, it doesn't apply to me because I'm not Thai. That was my sort of approach to Thai superstition, particularly that superstition, those kinds of superstitions before getting married. And since being married, I've completely U-turned. And now it's now a complete U-turn where I check the lucky colours before getting dressed in the morning, and I won't wear an unlucky colour for that day, because in Thailand you have different colours for different days. Like on a Friday you shouldn't wear black or dark blue or grey, but you can wear it on different days, and different colours mean different things on different days. So I've gone sort of full circle from completely dismissing the Thai superstition as doesn't apply to me, I'm a Westerner, to now checking what colour shirt I wear on a chart in the morning to make sure that I'm not going to be unlucky.
What colour is the power? What colour is lucky about financial?
Yeah.
What colour is lucky about support? Or what colour is unlucky? We check every day.
But what I think, I guess if we're to cut to the chase, the main reason for this U-turn and this being a bit more considerate towards Thai superstition was the fact that before we were getting married, before we got married, we had a sort of, well, we were planning a sort of traditional hometown marriage, just a simple affair with family and a party and lots of alcohol, you know, the normal Thai thing. And we'd gone through the whole sort of conversation with regards to, you know, the whole conversation and discussion with regards to Thai tradition with sinsot, and which is like a dowry, and you know, we went through all of these processes, and Fond had never been married before, never had kids, so there was an expectation of that, and obviously that didn't sit well with sort of my beliefs and my culture. So there was we went through all of these processes, and we were still going to get married, and everything was good, and you know, it was like, right, well, you know, my culture is important too, so we have to take both on board. But then it came to a few days before the marriage, and Fond suggested that we fly up to hometown together, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, and
three days before marriage.
Yeah. But I didn't want to, and being an avid motorcyclist, I was like, well, how about I ride the motorbike up and meet you there? So that's the route that we took. And so I set off. I don't know if I did the whole journey in one day or two. No, I did it in 2.
2 days.
Yeah, so I rode, I don't know,
You
80
stay in
Mahasarakam.
one
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, so I rode up to Mahasarakam, which is, I don't know, an hour away from Fond's hometown. Pitched up in a little cheap resort for the night. Had a couple of beers, not like excessive drinking, but had a couple of beers. And then the next morning was fresh as a daisy, had some breakfast, woke up and thought I would, you know, ride the next hour to Fond's hometown. So I did that, and that was the day that Fond was flying up, which was the day before we got married, was it? Or 2 days before we got married? 2 days before we got married. So that was 2 days before we got married. So
Actually, the accident was on the 4th, and our marriage was
7th, yeah.
April.
Yeah, so yeah, as you can tell, there was an accident. I went to a massage shop after, it must have been about 11 o'clock, something like that, in the morning. So I went to a massage shop that was literally 10 minutes away from Fond's house, in a little, or Fond's family home, in a little place called Chengyuan. And I had a massage for an hour. I came out of the massage and I just felt great. And I got on the bike and I was just sort of super chill, very relaxed. Pulled a couple of 100 meters up the road, sat at a junction, a set of traffic lights, waited for the lights to turn green. And anyone who rides bikes know that you tend to try and get away from the lights before the traffic behind you. But I wasn't riding fast. And it's a 3-lane or dual carriageway, 2-lane at least road. So I got to maybe about sort of 70, 75 kilometers an hour, approaching the infamous U-turns in Thailand. And I've got a habit of, when approaching a U-turn, you always watch the U-turn, because it's causes of so many accidents at U-turns. So you always look at the U-turn for people just cutting the road in front of you. But I failed to look at the left on the hard shoulder, and there was a guy in a Samlo that had been quite heavily drinking, riding along the hard shoulder, who decided to cut across 2 lanes of road to cut straight across the U-turn, and I ploughed into him basically. So I went through the tuk-tuk and came out the other side, destroyed my motorbike, and woke up on the road. At that time, I had in my bag some cash. I had full kit on, bike kit, but I had a broken arm, and broken wrist as well. I was in a bit of a bad way, so I had quite serious concussion, and a couple of baht of Thai gold in my rucksack as well, didn't I? So ironically enough, the accident was right outside a police station, which was
Yes.
quite lucky.
Yes.
And about maybe half a kilometre away from like the local hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So my bike was a write-off. They picked me up. They took me to hospital. Somehow they got hold of your mum.
Yeah. My mom called me. She was waiting to. She was planning to go to the airport to pick me up because that time I was excited to come to the wedding. I am the bride. I was going to my hometown to get ready to be the bride. So my mom was waiting for me in my hometown and ready to go to the airport to pick me up.
So how did they find out about me and the accident?
Because the boy called me from your phone and asking me if I'm your girlfriend or something like that and tell me that you have an accident. Oh my God, have an accident and broken arm, he told me at that time. And I was at the airport and it will be departure in 10 minutes. So, what? I got shocked and oh my God, what to do? So I call my mom. Instead of come to the airport, Mom, can you please go to Shingyun Hospital?
And sort out your future son-in-law.
Yes, my boyfriend had an accident and had broken arm. Okay, meet you at Shingyun Hospital. So
after arriving at the hospital, I ended up with 2 lots of surgery, but I had the first lot of surgery and was told that we were going to have to cancel the wedding. And I was pretty determined that that wasn't going to happen. And we had a load of guys, a biker gang coming up to meet us to get married. I had my good friend who lives in Bangkok flying up to join us for the wedding. So we were sort of Von was on the verge of cancelling the wedding, and I was quite high on morphine at the time and very determined that the wedding should continue. So the day after the accident, I had the surgery. Then the following day, it was the day we got married, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so we still got married. It was a bit of a shortened affair because I was off my nut, basically, through the morphine. And as it turns out, they did an operation to fix my broken arm, but I ended up getting married still with a broken wrist and sort of a little bit high on morphine. So it was since that episode that I have had a lot more respect for Thai superstition, really, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, there are some points that we miss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, about what we believe, what Thai people believe before get married. One of them is change your new bed.
Change your new bed.
Yes.
Buy a new bed.
Buy new bed and bedding.
Okay.
And you decorate all your room.
Yeah.
Yes, but we didn't do that because we always think we always live in Bangkok.
Yeah.
And we go to hometown just 3 days to
Yeah.
have the wedding and we come back. So to be honest, we didn't want to spend that money to.
What other things did we miss that were unlucky? So it was the not staying in for 3 days, not doing the. I didn't know about. Oh, I do remember about decorating the room because I was like, why do you need to decorate the room?
Yeah, I told
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. You just ignore it. Just
Yeah.
spend-
Yeah. Doesn't apply.
Yeah. And another thing is the lucky day.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
We always check the lucky day. Everything in Thailand. You buy the new car, new motorbike, and build a house. Everything really, we check the lucky day.
Yeah.
Especially the wedding.
Yeah, it has to be on a lucky day.
Yeah, but we didn't.
But we got the
Okay.
wedding the lucky day because we still got married on that day. It's just I was there in body, but not so much in mind. But the accident wasn't a very lucky day, which was 2 or 3 days before.
Yeah, just 3 days before the wedding. But at the end, we made it.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of insight into the cultural differences, and I guess really the thing that's changed most in the last couple of years of our marriage is my whole viewpoint on Thai superstition. Now, it could just, some could see it that I've just changed my mind because I had an accident. And I'm not a particularly superstitious person anyway. And yeah, I guess the accident has changed my mind in some ways. But I think I've just become a bit more respectful of it, actually. It's different beliefs. It's a completely different belief system, and whereas before I was just completely dismissive, now I'm much more respectful and I listen. I might not always follow it, but I'm much more open-minded when it comes down to Thai superstition now, I think. I can't think of any other examples of when I've sort of observed it.
Actually, there is another example.
Really?
Could I think about just a couple months ago? Probably we explain in next video, or I don't know. It's about Chiang Mai trip.
Yes, yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that another time. Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm that much more respectful of superstition here now that I'd spend an entire weekend traveling from one end of the country to the other just to be a bit more respectful of the superstition here, or is that how you describe it? Do you call it superstition?
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, so there you go. Little insight into Thai culture, Thai superstition, and Farang being completely dismissive of it and having a very understanding wife that's like, okay, he doesn't believe in it, let's get on with it anyway. And then I guess I'm very lucky that you've never really rubbed it in my face like, I told you. You didn't really do that.
No.
Didn't do that at all. And actually, considering I pretty much destroyed, well, we got married, but I pretty much destroyed the event and it got narrowed down to only a couple of hours. You seem to have forgiven me for being, not that I could really be blamed for an accident, but you were very understanding about it, which is not like any Western woman would be. If you can imagine getting married to a Western girl and having a motorbike accident after being told not to ride a motorbike because it's unlucky, and disrupting the whole of the wedding and having it on the verge of being cancelled, and then a Thai wedding normally lasts 2 days and we had to sort of shorten it to a period of a couple of hours before going back to being looking after me after a motorbike accident. Fon was
no after party,
no after party, no honeymoon, no mid party. The honeymoon was spent in hospitals afterwards. Yeah.
The bride was in the hospital at the night before the wedding.
Yeah.
I just put face mask and sleep on the sofa in the hospital.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
I was out of my head.
That's it.
I guess it's there's not many people that can turn around and say they were probably out of their head on painkillers for their wedding. But it's strange, because when I think back on it, I would have thought Fon would be very upset that completely disrupted the wedding, more than disrupted it. It pretty much got narrowed down just to the a ceremony itself. Honeymoon out the window, all the party, the organisation, all went out the window just so we could, let's just get it done and get married. But instead of being moody about it, you were just kind of grateful that we actually did it because of more Thai superstition, you being cursed by that lady and that lady saying that you would never get married. So when I had the accident and Fon was on her way to the hospital,
the doctor called me.
Yeah,
the doctor called me and let me know that we probably cannot have the wedding. Actually, absolutely cannot have the wedding because you will have the surgery because your arm's broken, and then at least it would take more than 3 days. Even after surgery, you need to stay in the hospital, but he was nice. The doctor was nice. He tell me, he didn't say to me like, you cannot have the wedding, but he said like, I'm afraid you will better postpone your wedding, something like that. And then that time make me think, okay, right, it will never happen because I'm cursed. That lady told me like one day when she had a problem with my mom, she cursed me.
This was when she was a little girl, yeah?
Yes, when I was younger, she told my mom, your daughter will never get married. And then I always memorize that. And then at that time when the doctor told me, okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, forget about it. So I completely forget about the wedding at that time. So I focused on looking after you that time. Okay.
And that focused me on still getting married, regardless of being in hospital at the time. That sort of calmness, that Thai calm acceptance of the situation just motivated me to, right, let's get this surgery done, get to the wedding, get married, and then deal with the aftermath afterwards. So I guess that's where Thai and Western culture can work quite well together, because your calm response to the fact that it looked like the wedding was being cancelled just encouraged me to, right, let's get this done. You know, I just became more determined to not cancel the wedding, you know.
I remember first when I met you at the hospital, you were like unconscious, but you still told me, you kept telling me, we're getting married. You're getting married. Tell your mom, tell your brothers, we're
still getting married. Yeah. I had concussion, but I guess that was really all that was in my mind. I was quite determined because I knew about this curse, this superstition. You know, Fon had told me about it before, so I don't know whether it was in my concussed mind or what, I don't know, or whether it was your calmness and very cool sort of behaviour. I was going to say unemotional, but it wasn't unemotional. It wasn't like you weren't caring. It was just that you were not going to allow this to make you want to kill me, you know? It was really interesting. Yeah, so there you go. A little bit of Thai superstition and a little bit of, what we describe as the mysteries before marriage. And we thought we'd share it with you guys. Hope you enjoy.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Oh, someone subscribe. That'd be nice, yeah? Please, thank you.
Like and subscribe, please.